Hi class, in this video we're going to be talking about linear inequalities. So first let's define what these symbols mean. So this symbol means greater than or less than. So I'm going to use 2 as an example and x is my unknown. So if x is on this side of the 2, so the side where the mouth looks like it's closing, that means x is less than 2. However, if my signs are switched and x is on the side where the mouth is open, it means x is greater than 2. Now, this is a greater than or equal to sign, meaning if x is on this side of the small mouth, that means x is less than or equal to 2. However, if x is on the other side, it means x is greater than or equal to 2. So this one here, x would be just greater than 2. But for this sign here, x is greater than or equal to 2. Now, the equal sign just means equal to. So it just means x is equal to 2. This other sign here means not equal to. So it means x is not equal to 2, meaning it can be anything else except 2. Now, what could the value of a be? Let's use some examples here. So if a is greater than negative 10, what values could a be? Well, negative 9 is technically greater than negative 10 because as you get less negative, you get more, greater. 2 is an example as well. And then, yeah, you could have a variety of different examples. Now, for negative 10 is greater than or equal to a. I like to rewrite a on the left side, so I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to read this as a is less than or equal to negative 10. So if a is less than or equal to negative 10, what values could I get? Well, one value could be negative 10 because I'm less than or equal to negative 10. Now, what values are less than negative 10? Negative 11, for example, because as you get more negative, you get less than, right? So these are just some examples that I could pick. And now a does not equal to 100. So what values could I get? Any value except 100. So for example, 99, negative 4, etc. I can pick any value except 100. Okay, the inequality number line, where I would just have a number line. So for example, if I want to graph x is greater than 10, you start with a number line, and then I put an empty circle, a circle that's not completely filled in. That means that x is greater than 10, but it doesn't equal to 10. So when I have an empty circle, it means I'm not equal to 10. And now if I'm greater than 10, what value could I be? Looks like I can be 15 or 20 or any of those values. So I just shade in the number line and draw an arrow that way. Now if x is greater than or equal to 10, same idea, except now I fill in a red circle, or sorry, a circle that's completely filled in. That means x is not only greater than 10, it's also equal to 10. And then I just shade my arrow the other way. So that's the difference between the empty circle and the filled in circle. The filled in circle means it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Meanwhile, the empty circle just means it's greater than or less than. So yeah, a hollow dot means it does not include that number, and a colored dot means it includes that number. Now let's graph the following. X is less than 3.5. So on a number line, find 3.5. You want to draw a empty circle because I don't include 3.5. And if I'm less than 3.5, that means I could be 1, I could be 2, I could be negative 4. So I just shade the arrow in the opposite way. Now, if x is greater than or equal to negative 3, let's find negative 3 on our number line. It's right here. I completely fill in the circle because I'm greater than or equal to negative 3. And now a number greater than negative 3 could be negative 2, it could be 3. So I just shade it in the opposite way. Okay, now what can these value of a be? So it says a is greater than 1 and a is less than 5, right? So you can always rewrite this if you want to. So a is greater than 1 and a is less than 5. Now what value of a could I have that's greater than 1 but less than 5? Well, how about 2, 3, and 4, right? I could have these values. So those are my examples here. Now it says a is greater than or equal to negative 55, less than or equal to negative 20. So again, if this format confuses you, you can rewrite it, right? So let's start with this part. A is greater than or equal to negative 55. And a is also less than negative 20. So some examples I could use, because I'm greater than or equal to negative 55, I can include negative 55 as a value that I can include between these. What's another number? So if I'm less than Negative 20, that means negative 22 would work, but if I'm greater than negative 55, negative 22 would still work. So let's go negative 22, negative 40, etc., right? These values could all work. I couldn't pick negative 20 though, because I'm only less than negative 20. I'm not less than or equal to. Now for a value like this, we can rewrite it if we have trouble reading it. So a is less than or equal to 1, and then a is greater than or equal to negative 1. So some values that I can pick right away would be the value 1 and the value negative 1, because I'm less than or equal to 1, and greater than or equal to negative 1. So if I'm greater than negative or equal to negative 1, 0 could be a value, because if I'm less than or equal to 1, 0 is also a value. So I can pick 0, for example. I could pick 0.5, etc. Okay, now let's graph the following. Here I have x is greater than 1, x is less than or equal to 4. So on a number line, I would just find, now you can rewrite this if you need to. So again, x is less than or equal to 4, and then x is greater than 1. So let's find 1 and draw an empty circle. Find 4 and draw a filled in circle, because I'm less than or equal to 4. So now I'm basically between these values on the number line. So I just shade in the line here, and that's my answer. Now for the next one, x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So x is greater than or equal to negative 4. And I also have x being less than or equal to 4. And both of these are equal to as well. So I can shade in two fully shaded dots. And if I'm greater than negative 4, I go this way. But if I'm less than 4, I go the opposite way. So my value should be in between. So that's how you would graph and draw this on a number line.